Hello everyone, welcome back to Speaking Spurs with me, Kieran, talking all things Tottenham. And yes, we are talking about potential manager Ange Postecoglou once again. But before we get into it, I just want to say a massive thank you to everyone that was commenting on the previous video. The engagement was absolutely great, some really good comments in there. Some of you have clearly done your research as well. It was very in-depth, and do apologise if I upset any of the Celtic fans with anything that I said. I wasn't saying that as a team you concede way too many goals. I was just saying that the way he plays does invite goals to be conceded, and I know you had the best record defensively in the Scottish League, but I will point out in your last 5 to 6 games you did concede what was it, 10 or 11 goals. In the Champions League group stages in the 6 games you conceded more than 10 goals again. So I'm not saying that you're bad defensively. I'm just saying the way that he plays opens up teams defensively. So there we have that. But yeah, 46 new subscribers came from that last video, so thank you very much. Welcome to the channel, those of you. As always, if any of you are watching this and haven't subscribed, please do so. Don't forget to support the video with a like, and as you saw in the last one, it was quite fun with all those comments, so talk amongst yourselves. I do get involved every now and again with the comments when I can. So let's jump into it. Ange Postecoglou. Things ramped up this morning. So yes, he became the front runner. He did say after winning that magnificent treble for Celtic, he did say that he was going to go on holiday for a few days, and I think that was to say, look, I'm just going to chill out for a minute, think about what I want to do and move forward. But then news broke this morning that already he'd made his intentions known to Celtic, that he wanted to join Tottenham. The lure of the Premier League was just a bit too much for him to withstand. And with his age, 57 years old, he will be 58 throughout next season. It probably for him felt like a good time to jump ship to the Premier League. He's tasted Champions League football with Celtic, so he knows what that's like. He's done that for a couple of seasons. Qualifying rounds, got knocked out last year, and then this time round the group stages he was in and struggled, honestly. No European football for Tottenham. That'll be a bit of a drawback. However, it makes it a bit of a better situation, which we'll talk about in a minute. But in terms of that, so the news broke this morning, yes, that he'd said to Celtic he very much wanted to go to Tottenham. Then a little bit later in the morning, we found out there was an agreement in principle between Tottenham and Ange Postecoglou, and now we're being told that Celtic had said that they'd give him permission to talk to Tottenham, and we're also being told that all we're waiting for now is Celtic and Tottenham to agree some compensation. And it's not going to be huge because, as we said, he's on a 12-month rolling contract, which makes everything better for us, not so much Celtic. But they've already ramped up the search for their manager, and it will be somebody that we were linked with, Brendan Rodgers. He's been there before. He's won stuff with them. He's walking into a very good squad. He'll only have to make a few tweaks. So yeah, like it was last time when he walked in there, to be honest. Only had to make a few tweaks and had a pretty decent squad, and he's inheriting a very, very good squad. So hopefully they can get that wrapped up nice and quick, and they don't remain managerless, because it is horrible when a club is managerless because you've come in and nicked their manager. So best of luck on that one, Celtic. But yes, it's exciting times. I'm happy with this appointment. The reason why this, the more I look at it, is a good appointment and risk-free kind of for both sides, is because for him, he hasn't managed in the Premier League before. There isn't the pressure that there's been on previous managers. We're not in European football for the first time in 14 seasons. All he has to do coming in now to Tottenham is change the brand of football to something more exciting. Get players running and pressing. Get us passing the ball about a bit more fluidly. Get a central midfielder further up the pitch that has the ability to unlock a team with their passes and become a bit stronger defensively. That's all we want, to be honest. If he can do that, and to be fair, we should. Even with the squad we've got now, if nothing changes, we should finish higher than where we've just finished. You think about it, with a few games to go, we were still in the shout for a Champions League spot and somehow missed out on Europe completely. With that late capitulation. I say late capitulation, that's unfair on Ryan Mason. It wasn't. It was Ryan Mason kind of tried to put his own stamp on things For his own career, probably as well. If he'd have stuck with what we'd have known throughout the season, he could have completely done that and stayed rigid, and we might have got a European spot, whether that be Europa League or Europa Conference League. But hey ho, who knows there? But so yeah, it's risk free for Postecoglou, because I think the way he is as a manager, he's a very good manager. He'll want to look at all the players, I'm sure. No one will get away with not giving it their all on that pitch. I think in pre-season you will very quickly see him make decisions on players and go, do you know what? You don't look like you're going to work hard enough for me. If you're not doing it now, you're not getting the chance in the season. He's been cutthroat at clubs before. He's, as I said in the video yesterday or the day before, he quite happily will assess a squad, boot a load of players out. He's not scared to bring a load of players in. So for him, yeah, kind of risk-free. The fans will get on side if we get a decent brand of football. And that's all it's going to take. A decent brand of football, and us actually trying to win games from the beginning. If we could actually play football in the first half, that will please us. Too many times this season we sat there and didn't start playing until the second half. So, 90 minutes of football instead of 45 would be great. Then for Spurs, the reason why it's not so much of a risk, he's a cheaper option, which keeps that side of it happy. He's only coming in on a 2-year deal, with the option for us to extend if we want to. So if after 2 years, well, even if after a year it's not working, he only has another year. So that makes getting rid of him a lot easier if it doesn't work. His links to the Japanese market means financially that's great. We will probably accrue some Japanese fans even without him signing any players, because there will be a little cult following. On top of that, he may sign some Japanese players, like 6 of them at Celtic. And the thing about his signings, every single one of them at Celtic has impacted their season in some way positively. So he's obviously got a good eye. In terms of backroom staff, I don't know how many he's going to bring. There are talks at the moment that he will bring his number 2 and one other, which means there's a little bit more compensation to wrap up. But traditionally, he doesn't bring staff with him, but he will come with a lot less. So from that sense of things, that keeps it cheap for Spurs, because they can keep many people on the payroll at the same figure they're currently at if they want to stay. What it means for Ryan Mason, I don't know. Will he go off and try something new, or will he be pulled in some way into Ange's first team team of coaches, is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, also we'll probably get some Australian back in as well, some fans from Australia. I know we've got a good core of fans over there already, but Ange Postecoglou coming in will hopefully do that. He speaks very well in interviews. He probably won't say too much against the club, which will keep them happy. And for the fans as well, we'll enjoy him in his interviews, because let's face it, Conte was boring, depressing, because he spent all his energy at the side of the pitch, running up and down, yelling at the players. Mourinho, very, very defensive, which got boring very quickly. Nuno might as well have not been there. I know the press didn't like interviewing him. So, yeah, we got someone that kind of ticks boxes all over the place. Good man manager, has a great style of football, very attacking, very free-flowing and fluid. Doesn't take any prisoners from the squad. If they're not performing, they just won't be playing, or they'll be out the door. Good connections to a league that we've not really touched upon in the Japanese. Has very good extensive knowledge of that. Will he bring any players over from Celtic? That will be an interesting one. And that is something that we will talk about once he's signed on the dotting line. So it is expected that at some point in the week coming that he will be announced as our new manager. Something's going to have to go horribly wrong in the next few days for him not to be. So I very much expect this to get done over the line. I'm not going to have to talk about any more managers, which is great. And then we can start talking about the things that you really want to know about every year, and that is transfers. And every single one of us that does a channel, we sometimes talk to each other, and we all notice that the viewings go up when there's transfers, because it's exciting. And part of the problem we've had this season with Spurs is the football's not been great. So, we play a game, and then I want to talk about the game afterwards, and not many people want to watch a video of somebody sitting there going, yeah, so we went out there, set up the same tactically, didn't play in the first half, waited till we were 2 goals down, then started to play in the second half, got a goal back, Sonny's out of form, Kane didn't get enough service, Kulusevski's not playing well, injuries at the back, Eric Dyer made a mistake, Romero got a yellow card. It was very depressing throughout the season. So look, hopefully this deal gets over the line very quickly so he can get in, assess some players. You might even see the resurgence of Tanguy and Ndombele. He's come out in the press saying that he wants to come back to Spurs and fight for his place. Now, maybe he's had a change of heart and he really wants to make a go of his career, or, which I have a sneaky suspicion, that he's realised that nobody's going to come in for him at the wages that he's currently at. So, could be a financial thing where he's thinking, you know what, I can go back to Spurs, I can probably put a bit of effort in, be a bit part player, and collect me pay packet. So we could see that. But look, we've got a lot of players coming back from loan, many people for him to discuss. We've got players coming back from injury. Hugo Lloris is probably going to go now. We'll talk about that in another video. But yeah, exciting times. So yeah, to all of you that are new to the channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy your time here. Don't forget to talk amongst yourselves in the comments. It's great, as you saw from the last video. Yeah, hopefully this deal gets wrapped up soon and we can talk about something exciting. So thank you so much for watching that. I hope you enjoyed it. I have been Kieran from Speaking Spurs, and until next time, come on you Spurs.